Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, I'm continuing my Christmas movie marathon for this month. And this time around, I'm reviewing the film titled On the Second Day of Christmas, which is once again folks, I'm reviewing one of these low budget family themed movies that's aimed for the Christmas time of year, I guess. So yeah, folks, I figured I would do this because, well, I want to celebrate Christmas this kind of way, of course. So, with that being said, folks, of course, as always, I do have to talk about the plot line for this particular thing. So, let's get into it, shall we? So, the main character of this film is this mother, and she has a little girl to take care of, pretty much. Yeah, they're struggling pretty much, folks, and yeah, they get into some trouble because of the fact the mother character had taught the little girl how to steal, so to speak. And yes, conveniently, this is occurring during the holiday season, and yeah, they are struggling financially speaking, so to speak. So yeah, the things get worse for the both of them as the film continues. So yeah, things don't look up for the characters at all. Yeah, that's the thing, folks. I guess it gets pretty depressing for these characters, especially for the little girl character, I guess. But she wants to look. But I guess you can say it's not all bad because they get some assistance from this one character, whom is the, let's say, the security guard is assigned to help them out to correct their ways, so to speak. So those film storyline pretty much progress from this point on, folks. So yeah, there's a trio of characters. The film pretty much focused on the trio of characters from this point on, so to speak, folks. So yeah, there's an entire storyline going here, folks, and it's of course about family, having faith, and whatnot. I've seen this film with the Amazing Maddie, so Amazing Maddie, if you're watching this review, I highly appreciate the fact that you've seen this film with me. Oh yeah. But for the film itself, folks, it's pretty corny, really, really corny, extremely family friendly. It's not necessarily a terrible film per se, folks, even though it may sound like a bad movie, but at the end of the day, folks, it's just very, very kid friendly. Oh boy, folks, this film is extremely family friendly. And yeah, that in some ways does piss me off, folks. It does piss me off just based on the fact that it's just strictly aimed for the family. So yeah, pretty much like some of the other movies I spoke about, folks, in this marathon, it doesn't bother to take any risks at all. It's just as safe can be, folks. There's nothing particularly frightening in here, folks. Of course, it does attempt to have a sense of drama, which is fine, of course, but even that is done not in a scary kind of way. Everything's really sugar coated. Oh boy, folks, I don't like that really. It's extremely sugar coated. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand that this is a family movie that ended up made for the holidays and whatnot. But still, folks, even given that, it still comes off way too nice, way too sugar coated, and it doesn't feel like it doesn't take enough risks. So because of that, I was rather bored during this movie. I was really really bored. And yeah, I guess in some ways you can say that the premise of the story does seem rather far-fetched in some degree because they pretty much are using this as a recipe for some holiday romance, of course. And of course, our main character, the security guy or whatever, is supposed to be this kind-hearted gentleman and is attempting to give the mother and the little girl a chance to redeem themselves, so to speak. And just comes off like you're just kind of boring in a lot of ways. I can say that the film does suffer from creative missteps. It does use these chapter cards in which an upcoming line is planned or whatnot, and it's very generic, and I just don't like that, folks, at all. It's very, very generic as a whole, folks. Yeah, they could have had something here, folks, but it just comes off they didn't even bother that much. Didn't bother to take any risks at all. And that's the thing, folks. It's aimed for kids and just only for kids. Don't understand it. Why does everything have to be aimed for kids, folks? And that's the problem with a lot of these movies I'm reviewing. They're strongly targeted towards children. Hey, wanna make some video games? That's fine, but let's make it for kids and only for kids, so they can play it. Oh boy. Oh, wanna make some working out stuff? Oh, the gym must be for kids and only for kids. Oh, you have an idea for a comic book? It better be for kids and only for kids. Oh, you can write some books if you want to, but they better be for children and only for children. Even if you make some comic book movies, it better be for kids, folks. Oh, you want to make some music? That's fine, as long as it's for kids. And if you have some ideas for some items, like cell phones, make it for kids. And I'm already bored, folks. I'm bored to tears. Oh boy. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I didn't like this film, folks, because of that. It's way too sugarcoated for its own good. I mean, this isn't necessarily a bad movie, folks. You know, I've seen way worse than this. Just in some ways, the material for this movie does sound pretty dumb. Um, in some ways, it does feel like it was insulting my intelligence because of the fact that it didn't have much of a character development, nor hardly any plot development for that matter, folks, when I think about it. So, folks, I'll say you could watch this if you have nothing else to do. Yeah, if you have absolutely nothing else to do with your time, I say sure, grant to watch it. The acting for the most part was pretty okay. I guess the acting for the most part was pretty solid, I suppose. But it's nothing I would say that's gonna be Oscar worthy or anything. But even the music itself, folks, the music wasn't all that good either, folks. I don't remember all of the music. The music wasn't very good either. So the music itself was pretty bland. Just like the movie, it's extremely bland. Oh boy, it's very, very bland, folks. Oh yeah. So the film itself is pretty adequate. It's extremely adequate. It's one of those Christmas movies I guess you could watch just once and that'll be it. And that's what I'm doing here, folks. This film is definitely just a one-time watch. And yeah, there's not much of a story to speak of. It's pretty shallow, folks. It's extremely shallow. What you see is what you get. And in some ways, that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I don't mind having a simple plot, really. Not even that was done all that good. It was pretty boring, like I said before. So, as a whole, folks, I would say skip this one. Unless you want to waste some time, then sure, whatever. But anyway, folks, the editing of this film wasn't all that great either. It's pretty amateurish. Again, keep in mind, this was a made-for-TV kind of a movie. And that's about it. So, of course, nothing in this particular movie is going to be ever Oscar-worthy. So, yeah, folks, I would say that on the second day of Christmas, this film gets an overall rating of a 5.0 out of 10. It gets a 5.0 out of 10 for me because, well, it's just bland. Very, very bland. As always, thanks for watching and take care.